34 tornadoes, 300,000 acres on fire, and now 2 snowstorms heading straight for the East Coast. February 2026 has been absolutely relentless, and folks, we are nowhere near done yet. We're looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow possible over the next 7 days, and the models are still fighting over how bad this gets. 2 storms, 1 week. That's what we're dealing with, and if you've got weekend plans, you need to hear this first. If you're watching this after Saturday afternoon, heads up, things are moving fast and some of this may have already changed. I've been getting messages all week asking about this weekend, so let's cut through all the noise and talk straight. Now, for those of you just joining us, here's the quick version of what February has thrown at us so far. We had a tornado outbreak on Valentine's Day weekend. 34 twisters touched down across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. Then a massive blizzard buried the Twin Cities under 3 feet of snow. Highways shut down. Absolute chaos. And the Ranger Fire in Oklahoma. Nearly 300,000 acres burned and still going with no rain in sight through March. So yeah, it's been one heck of a month, and now we've got 2 more snowstorms lining up. Let's get into it. All right, here's what's happening right now across the country, because there's a lot going on as we speak. We've got this messy system pushing through the Northeast. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, the whole 9 yards. Travel is rough out there today, so if you were planning to hit the road, you might want to think twice about that. Black ice is the sneaky one. Roads look fine, then suddenly you're sliding. Please take it slow out there. Now, here's something interesting. While the Northeast is getting hammered, Chicago is sitting at 65 degrees today. That's about 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. Feels more like April than February out there. Same country, completely different weather. That's the kind of pattern we're stuck in right now. Let me run through what the major cities are dealing with so you know what to expect in your neck of the woods. New York City, temperatures in the mid-30s to mid-40s. Wintry mix making the commute a real headache today. Boston, similar situation. That freezing rain is causing problems on the roads, especially the bridges and overpasses. Philadelphia, you're right in that tricky zone where it could go either way, rain or snow depending on the hour. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore sitting on that rain-snow line. Freezing rain is the main concern right now. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, you're seeing that snow and rain mix, with things leaning more toward snow as we go through the day. Detroit looking at 1 to 3 inches before it warms up enough to change over to rain. Minneapolis still digging out from that massive blizzard earlier this week, and more snow is possible. Milwaukee, another 2 to 6 inches on top of what you've already got. Winter is not letting up in Wisconsin. And for my friends down south, Atlanta has a marginal severe risk tonight. Possible hail and gusty winds. Nothing major, but worth keeping an eye on if you're in Georgia, Alabama, or Mississippi this evening. All right, now let's talk about what everyone's really been asking about. These 2 snowstorms heading our way. 2 storms, 1 week, that's the headline. And it's got a lot of folks understandably concerned. Storm number 1 is the system causing all this wintry weather right now. It's already in progress. As colder air moves in tonight and tomorrow, this is going to transition to all snow for areas north and west. We're looking at a good 6 to 8 inches possible from Nebraska through Iowa and into northern Illinois from this first system. The Great Lakes, interior mid-Atlantic, and parts of New England, you're all in line for accumulating snow. But here's where things get interesting, and honestly, a bit frustrating from a forecasting standpoint. Storm number 2 arrives Sunday into Monday, and this is the one that's got all the uncertainty. Another shot of cold air is going to come crashing in and interact with moisture developing off the coast. A low-pressure system is expected to form off the northeast coast, and where exactly that forms is the million-dollar question. The computer models are showing dramatically different outcomes, and that's what's making this so hard to pin down. The GFS model, that's the American model, is going big with this storm, showing significant snow for the I-95 corridor. If you believe the GFS, we're talking a substantial snowstorm from Washington, D.C. all the way up through Boston. But the European model? It's telling a completely different story, keeping the storm further offshore. If the European is right, most of the heavy snow stays over the ocean and the coast gets a more moderate event. 2 storms, 1 week, and we're still figuring out if Storm 2 is going to be a headache or a full-blown mess. I spent a good chunk of time going through every scenario the European model puts out. All 51 of them. I was looking for any strong support for the bigger storm outcome, and honestly, I didn't find much. Yesterday, there were 4 or 5 scenarios supporting the major storm. Today, that number has dropped. Now, I want to be straight with you about what I think is most likely. based on everything I'm seeing. My honest assessment right now is that we're probably looking at a moderate snowstorm, not a blockbuster. Northern Virginia, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, southern New England, you'll see snow. But I'm not confident it's going to be the kind of storm that shuts everything down for days. That said, I've been doing this long enough to know the atmosphere can absolutely surprise us. Weather forecasting involves taking incomplete information and trying to figure out what happens days from now. The further out you go, the more room there is for things to shift, and they do shift, sometimes dramatically. So, while I'm leaning toward a moderate event, the door is still open for this to trend bigger. Now let me break down what this means for you specifically, depending on where you live. If you're in New York City, you've got the wintry mix today, then snow potential Sunday into Monday from Storm 2. The city itself might see some mixing with rain, but north and west of the city could be significantly more. If you've got Sunday dinner plans in the city, you should be fine. Monday morning commute, that's the question mark. Boston area, you might be on the northern edge of this system, which could work in your favor or against you. If the storm tracks close enough, you could get substantial snow. If it stays offshore, you might dodge the worst. Philadelphia, if this comes together, you're in a sweet spot for accumulation. Keep an eye on the updates. Washington, D.C., you're sitting right on that tricky rain-snow line. Temperature is going to be the deciding factor. If it stays cold enough, you're looking at snow. If it warms up a degree or two, it's a rainy mess instead. Baltimore, similar deal to D.C., very dependent on exactly how cold it stays and where the storm tracks. Pittsburgh, you're in pretty good position for snow from both systems. Interior location works in your favor here. For the mountain areas, Appalachians, Poconos, Catskills, Berkshires, this is where the biggest totals could fall. If you're in the higher elevations, prepare for the possibility of significant accumulation over the next week. When you add both storms together, interior areas could see that 12 to 18-inch total I mentioned at the top. Now here's something that's not getting enough attention, and it's weighing on me quite a bit. While everyone's focused on the snow, the fire situation in the southern plains remains extremely dangerous. The conditions there are textbook bad: strong winds, bone-dry vegetation, humidity in the teens. That Ranger fire in Oklahoma has burned nearly 300,000 acres, and there's no significant rain coming through March 1st. If you're in Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, or western Kansas, please be extremely careful right now. No outdoor burning, no tossing cigarettes, nothing that could spark. One mistake can destroy entire communities. I've seen the footage coming out of there and it's heartbreaking. Families losing everything they have. All right, shifting gears. Let me talk about what's happening after these two storms pass through. We've got more cold air lined up behind this system. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster into early March. Temperatures will spike for a day or two. Then another cool shot comes through. That's the pattern we're stuck in. For my friends in the southeast, the freeze line is going to push further south than you might expect. Southern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas. You're going to see some chilly nights as February wraps up. If you got a little antsy and planted your garden early thinking spring was here, you might want to cover those plants. It's not going to be Arctic cold, but overnight lows will definitely be on the cool side for the next week or so. Even Florida is going to feel this, not extreme, but enough to notice when you step outside in the morning. Out west, the mountains are getting hammered with snow right now, and that's actually good news. The Sierras, the Cascades, Lake Tahoe area, they're measuring snow in feet, which is great for the water supply. California desperately needed this moisture, so while it's causing travel headaches, it's a net positive. Let me give you the day-by-day breakdown so you can plan your week accordingly. Today and tonight, Fidar's wintry mix continues in the northeast. Fire danger persists in the southern plains. There's that marginal severe risk along the Gulf Coast this evening. Nothing major, but stay aware. Saturday, first storm wraps up. We'll get final snow totals, then a brief break before round 2. This is your window to get any last-minute supplies if you think you might need them for the weekend. Saturday night into Sunday, cold air really starts surging in, setting the stage for storm number 2. Sunday into Monday, this is the main event window. If we're going to see significant impacts, this is when. Parents, there's a real possibility of school delays or closings Monday in some areas. Keep that in mind. Early next week, another reinforcing shot of cold air. Freeze concerns extend into the deep south. 2 storms, 1 week, and by Monday afternoon, we'll finally know exactly how it all played out. All right. I want to take a moment to hear from you folks, because your feedback really does matter to me. Shout out to everyone who commented this week asking about the weekend. I heard you. And that's why we went deep on this today. Where are you watching from right now? What's the weather looking like outside your window? Are you dealing with that wintry mess in the Northeast, worried about the fire danger out in the plains? Or maybe you're one of the lucky ones in Chicago enjoying 65 degrees while the rest of us freeze. Drop your city in the comments. I read every single one and I genuinely enjoy our conversations here. Let me know what kind of coverage helps you most. More city breakdowns, more explanations of how I reach my forecasts. I've been doing this a long time and connecting with folks like you is what makes it worthwhile. Now here's what I'd suggest you actually do based on where you live, because knowing isn't enough. If you're in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, make sure you've got your snow supplies ready just in case. Check your shovels, make sure you've got salt or sand. Stock up on the basics this weekend. The uncertainty is high, but the potential is there for meaningful impacts Sunday into Monday. If you got travel plans Sunday afternoon or Monday morning, have a backup plan ready. Flights could be delayed, roads could be messy. Better to be prepared than caught off guard. If you're in the fire zone, I cannot stress this enough, extreme caution with anything involving fire or sparks. Know your evacuation routes, have important documents ready to grab, keep your phone charged. If you're in the Southeast expecting that cold snap, protect your plants, check on elderly neighbors. Make sure outdoor pets have warm shelter. A little preparation goes a long way. All right, let me give you the bottom line because I know I covered a lot of ground today. 2 storms, 1 week, that's what we're facing, with combined totals of 12 to 18 inches possible for some areas. The weekend nor'easter is still uncertain. Models disagree, but I'm leaning toward a moderate event. Fire danger in the southern plains remains critical with no relief in sight through the end of the month. Cold air will continue pushing into the southeast, so prepare for some chilly nights ahead. Tomorrow morning, I'm putting out an update as soon as those short-range models come in with fresh data. That's when we'll finally have clearer answers instead of all this could go either way uncertainty. If you're not subscribed, you might be checking your weather app Sunday morning while everyone else already knows what's coming. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell. I promise I'll keep you informed every step of the way. Drop your city in the comments. Let me know you're out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with the latest. 2 storms, 1 week. By tomorrow, we'll know a whole lot more about what's heading your way. Stay safe out there, folks. Take care of each other, and I'll talk to you soon.